Ready?
Hello, and welcome to Rhythm and Pixels, the video game music podcast. This is episode 4-3. Thank you for joining. My name is Rob Nichols.
And I'm Pernell, and I'm in the middle of laughing.
Yeah, that little Yoshi noise happens like at the right time every time. This is
us.
So if you haven't guessed already, we are a video game music podcast. It's just as it says in the title of the show. That's what you're going to get. Thanks for downloading us. Thanks for checking us out.
And thanks for jamming along as we serenade you with some awesome tunage.
All right, so anything for top of the show? We gotta keep it a little short, and we'll explain later. But Pernell, what you got?
Life has been interesting. I am getting into a lot of stuff with my job. I get to do what may well be my first out-of-state emergency blood donation, which could be fun.
Okay.
I'm hooked on La Mulana again because of the topic of this episode got me reminded me of it, and now I'm back in Pog form. And as I try to play and figure out where I left off, having beaten every boss but the last one, but not knowing which of the gajillion puzzles I have solved but haven't solved in the process of getting to open the final. Nonsensical.
It's La Mulana.
It's La Mulana. It's the best, hardest game you've ever played. It's awesome. I'm playing a game called Grand Kingdom, which is really cool. I bought it alongside Star Ocean 5, but was ignoring it because it's Star Ocean over here. But another friend of mine, Mike, bought Grand Kingdom also, and he kept talking about it to the point where I was like, I got to see what this is all about. Plus, no one else is playing it, so all the more reason why someone should. So I started it up last night.
Any good?
Oh, it's pretty slick.
Yeah.
It's, how to describe it? He compared it to sort of like Dragon Force, if anyone listening has heard of that game. It's Dragon Force without the large-scale armies. And you get to create your little mini units or mini battle parties to fight. So also kind of like Ogre Battle in that regard.
Okay.
But it's slick. It's been pretty cool so far. And the artwork is, it's beautiful, man.
Cool.
So how about yourself there?
Well, I was going to say the only Dragon Force I know is Through the Fire and the Flames.
We need to change that.
No, actually, I haven't really had a chance to play a whole lot. We had a big 4th of July thing here. You joined us. We had a good time. We got a lot of rain for some reason. Yeah, and then I've been watching Summer Games Done Quick 2016. Members of the speedrunning community speedrunning video games for like a whole week straight. So by the time this episode airs, it would have been just as been over. But go online, go to YouTube, go to the Twitch archives, check it out. I think the next one they're going to do is just called Awesome Games Done Quick, and that would be for 2017. And that will be next year, obviously, and probably I think it's February or January. It's cold when it airs. I know that much. Otherwise, yeah, I don't have a lot of like stuff I'm playing right now. I've just been kind of in between things, as it were.
As it do.
As I often am.
As it do.
Let's get in today's topic because there's a lot about today's topic. So it's summertime. So we did the winter levels in December.
And it was very fitting. Nice, chilly, Arctic blast.
Right, and then we did the water levels, back in like May? No, probably April.
No, I think it was April.
The water levels in April.
Spring thaw, drip, drip, drip.
Now it's time for the summer. It's time for the fire levels.
Burning hot!
Burning hot. And in perfect, just right on time, it is like 90 degrees with this insane humidity out here in Delaware. And my AC just decided to break. So,
whereas Rob over here is not used to such heat.
No.
I come from a place of fire worship where a man can wake up in a hot sweat with no problem whatsoever and have to deal with it. So this is almost going back to my roots.
I grew up without central air or any air conditioning or anything like that. And then once I moved out, I was like, nope, never again. And God, I want to be comfortable, and this is killing me. So got all the hot equipment on, hot equipment. We're going to listen to some hot music.
And we're going to drip some hot sweat.
Yeah.
As we talk about the burn effect.
Got a lot of condensation on my glass of lemonade.
least yours is hydrating. I'm drinking a soda.
That's still good. It's mostly the percent of volume is still liquid, so you're going to be hydrated.
Fingers crossed.
I'm telling you. All right, 4-3. Pernell, why don't you kick us off?
All right. In this particular episode case, I kind of ran the gamut across consoles, so you're going to get a little bit of everything from me. But I'm going to start with a typical staple favorite of mine, the Mega Man series, and what I consider to be my favorite of the fiery tunage tracks from classic Mega Man. Classic. And that track will be from Mega Man 10, Solar Inferno, the theme to the Solar Man stage. Welcome back to the burning hot heat that comes from the Solar Inferno. That being the track from the Solar Man stage, located in the underappreciated Mega Man 10, written and composed by...
We have Yasuaki Fujita, the composer of Mega Man 3.
Oops, see, there it is. That just kind of explains right there why this track came up. There was no fire levels in Mega Man 3.
That's right.
He didn't get a chance to work his chops.
Yeah, it's got kind of it does have the feeling of Mega Man 3, the kind of bluesy kind of beep. But this section,
this is where it works.
Oh man!
And it actually, for me, this track promotes the instant. It makes me want to do speed runs on the level. Yeah. There was a slide option in the game.
There's no slide?
No, that was one of the concessions, quote unquote, to the classic Mega Man loving fan base.
Oh, I
because
see.
Apparently they believed that the slide was blasphemous. They were wrong, but
wow, I didn't realize. I guess it's just pure gameplay. There's no Mega Buster,
no charge shot, and no slide. So they removed those things as a sense of keeping it pure.
Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, I've only played the newer ones. I've only played 9. We actually beat that one together, and then I never bought 10. Never got around to getting into it.
Yeah, I bought it and all the DLC for it. I just never worked. I beat each stage individually. But I've never beaten every stage in one go. To actually do the Wily levels and whatnot. It's a very strange condition to have experience with the game, but that's what I roll.
Well, one day we'll have to just sit down and just get through the whole thing.
That'd be fine with me. Any excuse I have to play through games I have sitting around is a good one for me.
That's a good choice. This is a really good choice. Get that Mega Man going.
Yes, and there will be more Mega Man. Just saying.
Yeah, there's got to be. There's so much like there's always like a specific type of thing, man.
But like this, I don't know. I almost felt guilty, but I'll talk about it later when we get to that track. But
that's all right. I kind of went back into some of my backups for some of my picks. Which is what I mean. Like the one,
not Rystar.
Yes, Rystar.
Oh God!
Starting with Rystar. What is with you in Rystar today?
No. I like Rystar. It just like give me a crap picking for Rystar off.
This is my all right. I'm gonna play round 3-1. It's called the Busy Flare from Rystar for the Sega Genesis. This is my favorite track from the game. It's by Tomoko Sasaki. You're listening to Rystar for the Sega Genesis. This is round 3-1 Busy Flare by the composer Tomoko Sasaki. I love this song. I think this is the best song for Rystar.
It honestly is the best track in the game because I'm pretty positive that typically when I play this game, I usually shoot for this stage. And sometimes the music-y world too because of all the weird. But he's playing his Scorch.
Yeah, the music one had all the weird voices in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost played that one on the stage 4, the level 4 episode that we had because it was just so weird. But I felt like it didn't have like a coherent like composition. Like they were all because it was like 4 different parts.
Same for a wild card stage, a wild card episode, and then you could just say, if it's no real theme, it's just awesome, and I want to play it.
When when Pernell came over, we were sitting in the living room, just like talking about like tracks and stuff, and then all of a sudden he was like, "You picked Rystar, didn't you?"
I did. Yeah, I called it because it was pretty clear. It's like you're just gonna go with the Rystar.
I was like, "Yep."
And I can't ultimately hate you for it because Rystar is an awesome game, and this is a great track. And I mean, in the end, we're here for good music, regardless of how often it comes from one game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna. We're 33 episodes into this podcast. I'm gonna say the next 33, I'm gonna cover all of the Rystar tracks.
All of them, even the boss themes. I need to bring up a boss theme 2 episode at least.
Maybe.
Wait, did we actually have a boss theme episode?
I don't think we did.
Oh mercy. Topic time. I think it might be coming soon.
I'll have to check that one out. All right. So, what I like about this track, obviously, the awesome Genesis sound. I love
the backbeat, man.
The backbeat. The thing in the background, the little like the little chords in the background, and I love the melody. It's just so cool.
I'm just loving the fact that as great as the track is, I keep hearing him bouncing off of walls because. He makes a sound. He makes like a plunk sound effect whenever he bounces off of walls while he's in shooting star mode. And it's like pong, 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 pong. But that's what I'm hearing. It's almost like I'm playing the game. I'm taking back to it.
I love Rystar. Like, I never played this as a kid, but I feel like I played this last year when we played it on the show. I just like to kind of get a handle on it, and I think this is one of my favorite Genesis games.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a great game. I think it was underappreciated for its time, actually. Sonic Team did it. It was their breakaway from the actual Sonic games at the time.
Yeah, it had a very Sonic kind of look to it, but like it was just so different. And the music is so good.
Sonic is very fast. This guy is really slow. Sonic can jump high. Rystar can barely leap.
He can barely get off the ground.
It was very different.
Yeah.
From their usual style, but the look, it carried the look.
Oh, I love the look.
The shiny, bright colors. It was a gem, and it just bursted with personality, and you people are the reason why I never got a Rystar 2. More people should have played it.
Well, you know what? We got this game, and this game is not a super short game by any means, especially for the Genesis. And the soundtrack is it's long. It's quite a large soundtrack.
That is true. It's a lengthy title.
So I feel like we got a lot out of it. You know, I'm not going to feel bad about a sequel. It's nice to have new titles and new ideas.
We got a lot of meat with these potatoes.
Totally. You know what? This is also the first time my only Genesis track for today.
I am kind of shocked, man.
I know,
I'm almost afraid of what else you picked.
I play a lot of Genesis music. So let's break out of this and get into your next track.
All right. I'm going to take a break from the Megas and move on to a role-playing game choice here. It's from a pretty well-liked stage of mine in history of playing titles. It is the Ifrit Gorge, and it is from the game Tales of Eternia, known in the States as Tales of Destiny 2. So give it a ring-a-ding-ding. Flame on!
Flame on!
Welcome back. You are speeding your way through the Ifrit Gorge in the game Tales of Eternia / Tales of Destiny 2, written and composed by my man, Motoi Sakuraba. But I think he has some help on this game, too. Wasn't there another name we had?
Yeah, we also have Shinji Tamura, but this definitely sounds like Motoi Sakuraba because it's got that kind of prog rocky, like drum beat thing going on.
Yeah, this track is interesting because as far as this game goes, most of the dungeon tracks and the exploration tracks, pretty much almost the entire game outside of certain battle themes, they're not very pumped. They're not very tense. But for this particular dungeon, the way it works out is they spelled it as Ifrit, E-F-R-E-E-T, because apparently they wanted to be different, or the translation team just really borked it.
A little bit of both, probably.
But what happens is you get to this dungeon and you have to get to the bottom and tame Ifrit so that he, you collect his spirit and you can use him later in the game. But the Ifrit Gorge is so hot, that you need to use these Undini, the spirit of water, has to help you. She creates a water barrier that surrounds you, and it gives you, I think the dungeon gives like 20 or 30 minutes total to get into the dungeon, get to the bottom of it, beat the boss, and get back out. So 30 minutes sounds like a lot of time, and it really is, but we're talking the entire dungeon, so battles and all.
So is it timing you even through doing like, not like the menus, but like...
Even the menus.
Oh my god.
If you're in the menu, the clock's still ticking.
Oh,
so
geez, man.
You literally get 30 minutes. You can't even pause the game.
Oh, wow.
So take your bathroom break first, because it's about to get hot in here. And it's a really awesome concept, I think, and it really added a lot of pressure to just burn it through the game. And this music is a fantastic accompaniment to that situation in the game as it is. So when we had the idea of doing fire levels, I could not in good conscience not pick this track. It would have been wrong.
Well, it's a great track. And yeah, it feels like it's moving fast. Like you're moving real fast. Like you just got to get there. I love the opening with the... with that bass and then like the hi-hats come in. I love that kind of arrangement,
Yes.
I feel like the drummer's like, yeah, and then like all of a sudden like these violins come in and it's like, whoa.
Yes, it's
super cool track.
It's so good. Like I might have to try this one again. I probably have a save file outside of the dungeon just to dope around in it.
Your PS1 still hooked up, or is this on a
I use PS2. I haven't had it. My PS1, fun fact, audience, I went through like 4 PS1s because the CD, the clamps that held in CDs on that thing were terribly built. So taking out discs, even the proper way, ultimately broke them on me.
When we moved back in February, I had a box of all my old systems, like my PS1, PS2, my Dreamcast. My very first PS1 is still in there.
And it works?
And I don't know if it still works.
You want to check that.
It's just been moved around a lot. But I remember I marked it with my name on it because I used to take it around with me to like conventions and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that because that's the one that my friend modded for me so I could play like imports and things.
Oh, so you probably took the cons for like Beatmania and DDR.
Yeah, so I could, because this was right before like DDR made it out into the States, so I could play like all of the DDR 5th mix and stuff like that.
Well, speaking of which, you might be taking a trip to Dave & Buster's soon to get that random nostalgia fix in just for the heck of it, because a new one's coming out this week, I think, actually, at Dave & Buster's. I'm probably going up there just to say, hey, I'm out of shape, but I remember the days.
It's been a while. I mean, I don't know, man. I've been playing ITG for so long. Every time I go back to like a DDR Max or DDR Extreme or something, I'm just let down by like...
Well, sometimes it's not just about the challenge. It's also just about good tunes, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Step into good music.
Would like to hear some of the classic tracks again. It's been a very long time. Although that was a lot of the reason I stopped playing DDR, because I'd heard the same music over and over again way too often.
With 700 tracks on the thing at this point,
I think
not
there's
so bad.
plenty
to find. You'll find some new stuff. Right. It's called DDR Ace, I think it was.
I'll have to look that up. I had no idea. I'm out of the loop on that.
I stay involved in games I don't get access to hold.
So I'm going to keep it on the prog rock joint, and I'm moving on to an NES title. Actually, I've been really wanting to play this game for a while since we started the show, just looking for an excuse to play it. And almost played it on the Level 4 episode, but I did not. This is Stage 4 World of Fire from the game Crisis Force for the Nintendo Entertainment system.
Oh snap! It's a crisis.
You're listening to Stage 4, World of Fire from the game Crisis Force for the NES by Kenichi Matsubara, Yasuhiko Mano, and Jun Chuma. And this is one of my all-time favorite classic Nintendo soundtracks because it's just every song has so much energy and it has so much there's so much going on. It doesn't sound like there's only just the four channels being mixed. And I love it when people, like when composers mix NES tracks that sound like there's more to it.
I'm just flabbergasted by the fact that you told me this is the sequel to Life Force.
Yeah, there's Life Force, and then they make Crisis Force, and I'm pretty sure this came out at like the very, very end of the NES life cycle. Like I think the SNES might have already just come out or something.
But it messes with my head even still because like, you said this is called Crisis Force.
Crisis Force.
It
Yeah.
was made as a sequel to Life Force.
Yeah, it's Konami. It's a vertical shooter. It looks like it has like Super Nintendo level like graphics. It looks amazing.
But the thing about it is that it was made in Japan, but in the States it was called Life Force, but over there it was called Salamander.
Salamander, yeah.
So it's interesting that they went with the Force type moniker still, but
I mean, I guess I could just do more research.
No, I'm not knocking for it. Honestly, I'm thinking it's very possible maybe they chose that name, and it was like, hey, Life Force was a much better name than Salamander. Let's just go with this.
Actually, when you brought it up today, I had no idea it was called Salamander.
Yeah, I honestly don't even remember how I learned it, but yep, it's called Salamander, and it was like a side story game from the Gradius series.
Okay, yeah. So, it was previous. So, yeah, it uses the same chip on the NES that was previously used on Gradius 2 for the Famicom. So, that's why you get those extra like drum hits and stuff going on in there. And that sounds pretty badass.
Oh, I like this track. I want to play the game now, personally.
Yeah, actually, every track is so good. I'm sure it's like just hard as nails, you know. But it's just, but the music is amazing. But the gameplay looks incredible. Like as you get power ups, your ship gets bigger. And changes shape, which I think is really cool, but probably makes it really hard to dodge like enemies and stuff.
Gotta get down with this. I'm just listening to like, this is one of those tracks where, well, it's twofold. One, I am playing La Mulana, and even when I don't have the game running, I'm thinking about it because it's really addictive right now. I'm at the end, darn it.
We keep coming over. He's like, Rob, there's a menu I didn't realize.
I found a menu that I didn't even know I had. It was related to some of the PC software you can install in the game. Play the game and find out what I'm talking about. But you can install the PC software and it unlocked a new menu that was required to solve a puzzle that, quite frankly, I'm going to play through the game again, and I'm going to try to do it faster because I don't even know how to explain it. Anyway, the point is, hot stuff coming through.
This is hot stuff. I'm glad the fan feels like it's finally kicking in the room here. That's a relief. So yeah, I just here we go. So this came out in 1991, and the SNES came out in the Super Famicom anyway came out in 1990. So that's pretty impressive that they were still like, you know what, we got to release this thing. This is awesome.
Well, like, yeah, I'm glad you chose this track, and I'm glad that you have informed me that this game has an existence.
Yes, this game exists, and it has one of the greatest soundtracks. So I really go check it out, like whenever you can, because it's just a great, and it's just a great listen. Great listen, yeah.
Oh yeah, because one thing about me for sure in regards to this show, and it may come across as I choose tracks, is that For me, tracks tend to have the most influence when I hear them in the game they exist in. Like when I heard Mr. Gimmick for the first time, I wanted to hear it in the game because the track sounded awesome. I wanted to have game-based context. So hearing this music and how great it sounds means I have to find the game to play it because I need to know what was going on when the track is played in the game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And of course, I was putting emphasis on that. You could tell as I was tapping the desk when I said it. That's how I get down. Emphasize.
Yeah, right. All right, so. Okay, hear that little section again. All right, your last track.
Don't make it sound so final.
Well, no, we still have another section at the end of the show.
Oh, yeah.
The listeners may not know about it.
This is true. Let's save that for later. More fire, more flames, more blaze, more heat. Got a track for you. You might like it, and it's from a game that you either may not have heard of, or quite frankly, is just really underappreciated, which I can explain later. But the track is called Blazing Internet, and it's from the game Mega Man Network Transmission. Give it a listen. Internet's burning hot. You are jamming out to Blazing Internet.
What a great name. Blazing Internet.
Blazing Internet from Mega Man Network Transmission, which is written and composed by
Shinji Hosoe, Ayako Saso, and Yosuke Yasui, and that's just for the Nintendo GameCube.
And it's kind of a hilarious concept, too, because for those not in the know, Mega Man Battle Network is basically a spin-off series of the Mega Man classic games that takes place on the internet. And this game was released on the GameCube, and it's kind of a hybrid of gameplay styles from the classic Mega Man gameplay as far as platforming and shooting, and the Battle Network games as far as your attacks all being based off of chips that you install into Mega Man and use. So you are actually in a section of the internet that is on fire.
That's cool,
which
man.
is just hilarious.
Yeah,
but
you
cool.
know a lot about these games. I don't know anything about them. They were a lot more on the Game Boy Advanced.
Nah, well, the Battle Network games were on the Advance.
Right.
But this specific game was a spin-off game of the spin-off series, and it was released on the GameCube. A lot of people actually dismissed it immediately. I was almost one of them, but this is one of the few cases where I am glad that I was unable to return a game because I had to force myself to give it a try. And what happens is you accept the fact that this is not a typical Mega Man game, and that to play the game well, you have to understand how to use chips properly. So you build a good chip deck, you start attacking guys with their weaknesses, and you don't rely on the buster so much until eventually you, of course, can because you power it up. But the game has a steep learning curve because of this chip system, and that learning curve turned a lot of people away because they expected run and gun Mega Man style gameplay.
Right.
So,
but Battle Network wasn't run and gun either, right? It was like a strategy.
Yeah, but that was more of an RPG style gameplay. When you use the chips in the same way, where you preload Mega Man with a bunch of chips, and in battle you can select them from a chip deck, and use them in combat. And there's a cooldown and all that stuff.
Huh.
So it's, not gonna say it's like a hybrid of the two styles, and a lot of people wasn't expecting that. But hey. This is old Pernell telling you, locate this game, give it a go. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you appreciate Mega Man games.
When he calls himself old Pernell, I think it's important that we listen.
No, thank you. Like
that means it's important to him.
An old man saying something. That's basically what you're getting right
Everyone
there.
gather around. Pernell's trying to say something.
All right. Took place in 1992. I was an old whippersnapper at the ripe age of 20-something.
Do you remember back in 2001 when the internet caught fire?
I was there.
I was there.
Old Al Gore said he could do something about it, but quite frankly, he didn't have the cojones to do anything.
You know, actually, recently I was just really curious, and I went online looking for old archives from America Online, and not like www.aol.com. I'm talking like the original America Online. Like you get it from a disc and you install it, and it was all like window based and stuff.
Oh mercy!
There's a lot of stuff out there, and there's like a whole like group of people trying to like decode it, because apparently a lot of this data is just living out there on servers, just like not being used. Like half of the network stuff is all screwed up, but it's just out there. It's sitting out there.
Let's be honest, they just want to read those old unfiltered forums before the days of actual, policing of content.
Well, they used to have a file. This is totally off the topic, but they used to have these file collections. You can like upload files like for music, and I used to write demo scene like file tracker music back when I was like a teenager. And upload it there, and then people would rate them and stuff. And I was like, oh, I got like 6 ratings on a song I made, And I was like, that's really cool.
You see this? This guy hates when I call him Rhythm, of the Rhythm Pixels moniker. But listen to this story.
I was like, I would never be able to find this again because I uploaded it to America Online, and that was gone forever. And it was probably exist on like those little 3 1/4 floppy disk things, and they're probably all like in a fire somewhere. So I don't know.
They're somewhere within Centralia where they go to discard old technical records. Yeah.
So I'm like, wonder if I can get out there and like track it down. I wonder if there's archives of this stuff, and there's the Internet Archive, the Wayback Machine. It's out there,
and you're gonna find it.
I don't know. I might find something. I might pull my hand away from it.
Well, take out that digi shovel and get the digi digging.
To check it out. Yeah, I'm gonna keep looking. This I think might be a little weekend project. Let's keep on with the music. I'm going to my final track. This is Fire Scramble from the classic Gradius 3 for the Super Nintendo.
Shooter kick.
Yeah, a lot of shooters for me. I play a lot of shooter music.
I chose Mega Man.
Yeah, that's all right.
We got this.
We'll bring it around. Welcome back. You're listening to Fire Scramble from the game Gradius 3 for the Super Nintendo by Kazuki Murioka, Kazuhiko Uehara, Harumi Ueko, and Yuki Morimoto. And me and Pernell were like, I don't think either of us got this far in Gradius 3 because that game is tough.
This game is ridiculously impossible. Like, I bought it. I have it at home. It's on the shelf and everything. Not the Super Nintendo version, though. I have it on the PS2, I think, on the collection disc. I have never heard this track before.
I like looking at the soundtrack and being like, yep, never made it there, never made it there, never made it there.
Gradius is a devious series, though, because the way they're designed is like, I mean, the truly best players don't have this problem, but I'm talking the mediocre, average to low, medium tier.
Yeah.
The way it's designed is that you start the first level and you get everything you can to jack up your ship. You get the perfect level of speed, everything, and then you're not allowed to die ever.
Yeah, once you die, all those power-ups are gone. You start the level over again, which is fine. You start from the beginning.
Oh, no, that's the problem. You don't. It's like, they do it in this way where it's like, let's say it's stage 1, right? Okay.
Oh, I thought you started from the beginning of the stage.
Oh, no.
There's a waypoint.
They have midpoints and everything.
Oh,
so
that's
they have
right.
a knack for starting you in points where you have no bonuses and you already need them just to dodge crap.
Yeah, I'm remembering that section with all the bubbles. And so, like, as you break down, you shoot a bubble and it breaks into 2, and you shoot that and it breaks into another 2. But there's a section, like as the further along you get, the screen's covered in stuff. But, like, you got laser or you've got other power-ups to get through it.
And they chisel right through them.
And then you die, and then you come back, and you're immediately surrounded by all these bubbles again.
Yeah, and it drives you crazy.
But this is one of those Super Nintendo games that really taxed the system. I remember like that section specifically, that would really horrible slowdown.
Which is amazing because that was also when the system first came out too. So it was like they were going for the gusto right from the start.
Yeah, I really think so. Well, this is an arcade port, so this was originally arcade.
So that probably plays a heavy role in why it was so taxing on the machine.
I think so. But I love the orchestra hits. Orchestra hits equals fire. You can't go wrong with the Gradius music. I really love the stuff.
I have to agree with you on that. The Gradius is it's a staple series. Like, I actually kind of miss it because we haven't seen one since Gradius 5, which was Treasure, actually.
Oh yeah, that was on 360, right? No, it was
PS2.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of the game you might be thinking about on the 360. Are you thinking about Odomedius? Which was like the Gradius game, but instead of being ships, it's women as ships.
And that might not, I don't think so. That doesn't sound familiar to me at all.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I'm curious because
I'll have to look up. I might be thinking of what you're talking about, and I must have maybe mistaken it for something else. But we'll take a look.
Yeah, because I'm curious. We got to know.
We'll take a look together. All right.
World must know.
Well, let's move on out of the fire and into the flames.
The flame!
Bringing the track all the way down. And now we can get into the final part of our show called the bonus round.
Bonus round.
Bonus round part of the show is the part of the show where we play covers and remixes based on today's theme. We try to showcase some of the great video game, cover band, remix artists out there that we like, and just hope you enjoy it. So, Pernell, what you got for us?
Well, it was a little bit of a running bit to try to locate this track because, as a lot of the fans here know, for some reason, for all the great music I like listening to, I have a bit of a rough time finding it when the time comes to play it. But stumble and toss around I did, found some Swedish jig I did. I loved it. And what I came across was an interesting guy who goes by the ridiculously awesome name of Stone McKnuckle.
Love it.
He's Swedish. You're going to hear it in the track that I selected. It's a remix of the Area 7 theme from Blaster Master, which is a fire stage.
Yes, it is.
And the track is called Blaster Force.
God. That was Blaster Master Area 7 Blaster Force by Stone McKnuckle. That was awesome. You got to check this guy's music out. He's done covers from all the way stuff from Top Gun for the NES. He did Einhander, which is an amazing space shooter for the PlayStation 1. That was really cool.
I was pretty much over his shredding, and it got to the point as I was talking to Rob while I was playing where I kind of lost where he even was anymore. Yeah, and it was just kind of caught up in all the crazy.
Yeah, he had the tune, the melody from the stage, and then like the boss music kind of came in, and then he just kind of went off and went on his own thing. And I loved it. I loved every minute of that.
It's a good choice. I'm glad I came across it. I'm glad you liked it, and now we have a new dude to check out.
Yes.
And how can you not enjoy telling people who you listen to? Stone McKnuckle.
Stone McKnuckle.
It's just an awesome thing to even proclaim. Stone McKnuckle. It's not something lame like Sleep McLazy or Baron von Slackalack.
I like Sleep McLazy.
Yeah, but this is Stone McKnuckle. Power. This is slip.
All right, so let's. This is an episode where you and I are both going to pick rock tracks. So I'm playing the Megas. I think I played the Megas for the water levels. This is Heat Man. This is called Man on Fire.
Now I'm almost sad you didn't pick this for like the Megas for the winter stage. You could have had a full on seasonal Mega outburst.
Oh yeah. Actually, I don't think I had that album then. I think this show kind of brought me out to listen to it.
Ah, well, there you go, Megas.
Man on Fire.
Forged from flame and crimson stone, in robot hell I'm not alone. In my mind I hear the voices cry, I've made them a promise that Mega Man died. Can you feel the fire? Can you see the cities burn? From the dead to feel I call your name. Can you feel the heat?
That was Man on Fire by the Megas, the Heat Man stage from Mega Man 2. That's probably, I'm going to say, my second favorite track on that album. And the album is called Get Equipped. And it's just it's every song from Mega Man 2.
It's just good. It's certain tracks, like, it's such a weird feeling for me because, like, certain tracks, each track, as Rob points out, is like they each have different vibes, and they kind of use them to kind of get the essence of what the robot master they feel would give off.
Yeah, like, everyone is like every song is like a story from that robot's perspective, and this one's all about like burning up Mega Man, you know. And I just love this is the meltdown of your desire. Like, it's just so over the top. I love it.
Oh yeah, I do love the over the top aspect. It's just there's certain just like there's like wavering levels. Like there's certain tracks where it's like this is okay. Certain tracks where it's like this is good. And then there's tracks where it's like holy crap, this is my jam. And that's what that felt like. I think the Mega Man 3 track series that they did like this was the same way for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of like there's some I feel definitely more than others. We probably have like differing tastes on that one too.
Yeah, that might be one random thing just to kind of draw up a list. Like maybe not have the actual tracks all get played because it's like the Megas episode, but have like a list like, okay, what are your tracks that you like? Just to see if any of them match up. That could be fun. I
like a lot of them. But yeah, the Mega Man 3 album, it's a double album, history repeating blue and red. So they do like some of the Proto Man stuff on one, and then they do stuff from the Mega Man's perspective on the other one, which is a pretty cool idea. So for more information on the artist focused on today's bonus round portion of the show, check out the website, rhythmandpixels.com. .com. Go. We want to thank you for joining us today on episode 4-3 of Rhythm and Pixels, our focus on fire level music.
God, this was a hot episode.
It's a very hot episode in more ways than one. We melted your face off, and our faces are just melting right off. Just melting away.
It was worth it, though. It was worth it. I mean, it just goes to show you that when we do an episode thing, we go all in. It's a fun fact. When we did the water episode, his living room was flooded.
Yes, we flooded the whole house just to get the full effect. And in this one, Pernell, I purposefully destroyed my air conditioner.
I knew it! I knew it! I was thinking what if? But I know you're a man of passion. All the way.
Oh, man. So yeah, I had a great time picking out tracks for today. And for next episode, we're talking about what, maybe boss music?
I had another thought, too, but we can toss it over next week. It could be boss themes, mechanical.
Ooh, that's a cool idea.
One.
Mechanical.
But then that it could be those two, or who knows? Maybe something else could pop up. But
yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it maybe over the weekend, and then we'll get into it. So just tune in for that 4-4. Who knows? Question marks, right?
Stay tuned.
It's like a question block, and you gotta download the episode and figure out what it is.
I like that.
Actually, that reminds me. I know that some listeners on Facebook, or potential listeners on Facebook, they want to be able to download the show. So on future episodes, I'm going to have a download link, so you can download the full MP3 to wherever you're going to listen to. And I think I'm going to probably add it to past episodes. So if you're on iTunes, you might get updates from past episodes. Don't worry, it's just me adding links to the show.
That's pretty slick.
It's going to take a bit of time, so it's not going to all happen right away. And I apologize for that. I know that everyone gets their media differently.
Well, at the same time, we're an up and coming fledgling sort of dealie.
Yeah,
we got to learn somehow, right? You know. So.
Yeah, just trying to listen to our listeners.
Oh, a little reverse there.
So, if you want to contact us, if you got ideas for shows, if you have any questions for us, you'd like to hear us answer them on the air, or be silly, send us an email.
Rhythm and Pixels at hotmail.com.
That's Hotmail.
Yes.
Also, if you want a full track listing, information about the show, information about the artists, or if you also want to like leave comments for us on specific episodes, check out the website.
rhythmandpixels.com.
That one's easy. And hey, if you want to contact us through Facebook, facebook.com/rhythmandpixels. Twitter, pretty active on Twitter. It's at rhythmnpixels. And yeah, we're on Instagram. Again, just showing off pictures of my cats and maybe some classic games that we're playing. Or I think I was just posting up pictures of too many games. Not too many games. Awesome games done quick.
And I gotta get more into that too, because like I have a habit where I'm like, I'll be listening to music at work or something. I'm like, man, I should be talking about some stuff on the thread. And I'm like, but this table needs to be rewritten, and I'm really lazy. But I like.
Gotta have those post-it notes right by you, man. Just write them all down.
I really do need to do that, and I want to engage more with, listeners. I want to talk to you guys, what you're talking about, what you want to hear, what do you think?
Yeah, Pernell wants to get to know you.
Get to know all. Ooh, nobody.
All right, so tune in next week for episode 4-3 of. No, this is episode 4-3. Tune in next week for episode 4-4 of the Rhythm and Pixels video game music podcast. I have been and will continue to be Rob Nichols.
And I am a puddle on the floor, also known as Pernell.
Thank you for listening.
Good night. It is so hot that I don't even have a quote right now. But I might do 2 next week.
You double up on that?
I might just double down.
All right.
Some like it hot. Some not so hot.
It's not so hot.
Some like it just right. But at the end, it's all about finding what's hot enough for you. But sometimes you might just want to spice up a little extra hot and force it to another person in life, because sometimes they need that tolerance boost that only you can provide.
There you go.
Help them out. Help each other. God is hot. Good night.
I just like, I just let it keep recording. Like.